Elise, I'm so happy to talk to you today for She Can. Tell us a little about yourself and what you do.
So about a little over a year ago, I launched a teenage skincare range with a slightly different focus to what's currently out in the market. I've tried to make it gender neutral. My products are simple. The routine is simple. And I've really been focusing on empowering children to take their control of their skin, to use this as a way to help them with their mental health, because as we all know, sometimes you have skincare issues and it really can play a huge part in your confidence and how you perceive that others perceive you, which then just snowballs into a lack of self-confidence, which is not what we really want our teenagers today to actually be experiencing.
Thank you so much, Elise. I'm really interested how you got to where you are today. How did you get to the point where you launched this great skincare range for teenagers? How did you get there?
Quite a journey. I guess it started out a few years ago with my older daughter, and everything that we found was extremely strong or not necessarily the appropriate ingredients for young skin. But then my second child is a son. So even the products that we found that were more gentle for her, they really weren't designed for him. They were mostly pink and sparkly kind of packaging, and there was no way he was taking that off to boarding school. And so then I started to look into creating my own, and then really thought, well, it doesn't need to be boy focused or it doesn't need to be girl focused, because young skin is young skin. So it was just more a matter of creating something that's simple, gentle, and gender neutral. And I didn't start out in this background. I guess the only background that I had for this was that I was a mother of teenagers. I had a previous life in finance before this. And so it was all really new to me. And I found an award-winning biochemist who really felt the same way that I did about what type of company I wanted to create. And we've worked together, and she really enjoyed listening to the stories about me and my Hawaiian background. And that's where a lot of the Hawaiian ethos came into how we market or how we show SKWAD, and really use the mission that it has based on Hawaiian principles. And she's taken that and used some of that background into her researching ingredients, in finding very effective, simple, sustainable ingredients. And so we really worked together to create this latest range.
Elise, I love that. It's so strong. Tell me a little bit more about how your Hawaiian background played into this great skincare line.
So the Hawaiian aspect of the brand is that it takes the aloha, which is, love everybody and accept everybody as they are, which is really what we're trying to tell everybody through the brand. But the other one is Aina, which is taking care of Mother Earth. And given that it's such a small collection of islands, they really have to look after the earth and what Mother Nature has given them. So it's extremely important. And so all of those things factored into how we decided to make the product, which it needed to be eco-friendly, sustainable, gentle, and really trying to be inclusive and available for everybody, be it boy or girl, young or old.
I'm so impressed, Elise. Elise, what are your main motivators? What is it that motivates you to make this into a household brand?
I think it's the message that we're trying to send to teenagers, and to have them really feel that somebody does have their back, which is one of our taglines, is that we've got your back. And it is really true. And that, I think that teenagers or kids or people in general, especially nowadays, really need to feel that there's somebody listening to them, there's somebody in their court, there's somebody that's fighting for them. And I think that having confidence about your skin will give you confidence about other things, which is really what we want, the future leaders to have, as well as I think the other thing that I would hope is just to really start to have kids. Well, I think kids are already doing it more than adults, are caring about our environment, but caring about community and really embracing everybody, I think are the big passions that I have, and to just try and have everybody be a little bit more loving.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for saying that, Elise. I couldn't feel more strongly about that. Elise, what do you think is your superpower? What do you think makes you so good at what you do?
I think the thing that's helped me, or the superpower that I've had in my journey thus far, is I don't give up, and I don't take no for an answer. I still try and be respectful about taking no for an answer, but I think that I don't give up, and I will always try and find a solution to whatever hurdles come our way. And I think we've had Brexit, that was a big part of our hurdle, and we were dealing with European and UK borders with a lot of our manufacturing, right as everybody was learning about what was going to happen with Brexit. And I just, I didn't give up, and I just really tried to make sure that everybody talked to each other, that the right hand was talking to the left hand, that we were going through unprecedented times with nobody knew how to handle paperwork, and just really just kept pushing and pushing and pushing to get people to talk to each other, to get to the right answer, to reach a solution, is probably the superpower.
I love that. I think that's so important. Elise, what would your top tips be for other women?
I think for other women, I think that other women need to constantly raise each other up and back each other, back up other women. But I think that one of the biggest things is communication. And I think that having good, clear, honest communication is the best thing that you can take. And I think that everybody will respect you for it. They might not like what you have to say sometimes, but I think that if you can be a good, clear, honest communicator, it will carry you a lot further.
Oh, I love that. Elise, what are your plans or dreams for your future with this brand that you created?
Well, I'd like to make sure that have as much brand awareness on both continents, US or North America and Europe, UK and Europe. But I think that we're still working on creating other products that will really help teenagers. And, we've been speaking with other kids and trying to figure out what types of things they're running into and how would they like help with it. And I think just trying to find the right solution for them. But I guess the biggest thing that I would love to create is I'd love to create a reef-friendly sunscreen.
Yes, please.
That's my goal.
Well, I can't wait.
It hasn't been easy. There aren't very many reef-friendly ingredients that are effective. So this is where we've run into the dilemma. This is the one product that I really want to create, because I think we need to use it all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't want to create a non-reef friendly sunscreen. So this has been my problem thus far.
I can't wait for when you figure it out, Elise. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
No, thank you for having me.